starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello.
Evening. How's it going?
Evening. How you doing?
Not so bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I hope everyone's well. Merry Christmas. We're getting close. It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes. Hey, everybody in the chat. Hope you're all right. Hey, Joan. Hey, Tori. Hey, hey, Dave. Hey, Joanne.
Sorry, I'm just getting my blanket
Hey,
ready.
Chris.
Just getting my blanket sorted. Sorry.
Everybody got to see Chris's new video that he put out yesterday.
Yeah, I was going to name myself Barry Chuckle, but then I thought I don't think the rest of anyone that hasn't seen it would wonder what I was talking about.
Yeah, well, this is it. So, but yeah, it was a good video. It was great to see him. I'm glad the video finally came out.
Yeah, we've got a movie chats review coming tomorrow of how it actually happened.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, yeah. No, it was good to see. How was your week been, mate? Anyway,
It's been a bit of a busy one with work and stuff, and I've finished for Christmas now, so not back in again for another 4 days. So that's nice, but yeah, it's just to lead up to Christmas, and it's just counting down the days and the hours, really.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's been all right, mate. And Lou had a birthday this week, so it was her birthday on the 21st, so I had to make a fuss out of her as well.
I wish she'd said she could have had a voicemail from Santa.
Oh yeah. Oh, that really made me chuckle. Hey, Tannenfeld, hope you well.
Things you do for work. Just in case you guys didn't see the Instagram post on Tuesday, I work for an energy supply company up here. We volunteered for a local charity that looks after special needs kids and kids with like terminal illnesses and stuff. And I played Santa Claus for them. And so they had this big like event activity day where they went in. Yeah, that's it. They went and made things and did like reindeer food and stuff like that. And then at the end of it, there was like a surprise Santa's grotto, and I was playing Santa. The only thing was
you loved it.
The only thing was when I put the fat suit on to make me a bit round, it didn't really add much to me, to be fair. But yeah, no, it was a good day. We had fun. We had a laugh and a giggle, and everyone enjoyed themselves. And then we've just been on like Christmas shutdown this week. It's mad. The whole thing's focused at the moment. But yeah, so it's been an interesting week this week.
Hey, Dave Repairs. I don't think he took much convincing, if I'm honest. I reckon he probably jumped at the chance.
There was not one.
Why have you got all those tattoos?
Well, I had a green jumper on underneath my suit, and then I rolled up my sleeve so my green jumper didn't come out underneath the Santa suit. And then I was like, "What's worse, Santa having tattoos or wearing a green jumper?" I don't know. So yeah. Lucky enough, no one spotted the tattoos anyway. However, one kid did pull my beard, but he had it on that tight, it didn't move. So I was like, ah! And he was like, all right, you let go then. But yeah, that was it. Ray rolls up his sleeves. Hey, I work very hard. I do. Thank you very much, Dave.
Anything to actually get out of doing proper work.
Yeah.
For the day.
Yeah. No, it was good fun. We all
did Lana get to sit on your lap? That's the question.
What?
Did Lana get to see you in your suit and sit on your lap?
No.
Like, come see Santa. Come see Santa.
Yeah, so this week is obviously our Christmas jumper party. So I've got
this bad boy. been
Right.
waiting to wear. As I picked this one up in Torquay when we were down there.
Let's put you on big screen, mate. Let's have a look at it properly.
It's on me tattoos.
You see. Yeah. And then Lana was very nice and she ordered me one of these. It's
Oh, very
Baby
nice.
Yoda.
There we go.
So
I
at least
can
it's
just
movie
tell now.
themed. So I hope everybody in the chat's got theirs on.
Yep.
Oh, he's changed his jumper.
If I get a bit warm, I've got a Christmas t-shirt on underneath as well.
That was quicker change than me and me masks.
Hey. Hey, Shabba. Thank you for joining. Hey, Monkey Thrifter. I hope you're well. Hey, Rich. Rich,
So-
got me parcel this morning, so thank you for that, mate. Really appreciate it. I got red on, yes. Yeah, he's got to deliver stuff tomorrow, as Dave, hasn't he?
Well,
Just
that's
like
his job, isn't it?
Santa. Not getting paid for it.
That's his job, though. He's a postman.
Hey, Richard Payne. Hope you're well. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. He gets paid for it. He loves it, I reckon.
Yeah, he gets paid for it. So, right. Shall we jump into homework before we start Christmassy stuff?
Yeah, can do.
Right. So we were lucky this week that we had two homeworks, one selected by Andrew and one selected by Lainey. We had My Girl,
Yep.
which was selected by Andrew, and we had Scrooged, which was Lainey's suggestion. How did you get on, me? Because you've got a habit of not doing these.
I like the way you set me up to fail there. So, how did you do, considering you didn't do it?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen them before, so I didn't get a chance to watch these. But My Girl's one of my favourites anyway, so I could pretty much reel that one off. And Scrooge, I've not seen it in a little while, but I did enjoy it when I watched it. I vividly remember the taxi scene. But he's just really good in it, isn't he? He's like a TV producer, isn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're both enjoyable films. I think My Girl is probably my favourite in that, but it's a right mushy film, isn't it? It's a bit of tugs on your heartstrings a bit, that one.
I like My Girl. Lana loves My Girl. Whenever we get a chance to watch it, she does love it. I do like My Girl. It's a very it's a very girl next door type movie, isn't it? Where she's just like, and to Dave Repairs, that probably means something else to actually think about. So yeah, and I do like it. I like the story as well, and it is a very, very sad ending to what is a very nice film, which I think is good because I think it proves to kids and whatever and people watching it that life hasn't always got a happy ending.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like you say, it's not expected, really, is it? And then it really sort of pulls on your heartstrings and catches you off guard a bit.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing her in much after that, you know. I think she had a couple of movies, but she sort of fell off the radar a bit.
Yeah.
I think Macaulay Culkin was great in that movie.
I think the funeral scene gets me.
Yeah.
You know, where she's not really allowed to go and see him at first, and then during the funeral she runs in and, you know, goes on about his glasses. That's the bit that gets me. The whole bee sting bit, you could sort of see that coming, but not to the effect of him actually dying.
No.
Yeah, that was quite. It's got like vibes of Stand By Me and that type of era type film.
Yeah.
For me, Scrooged. I just love Scrooged. I just laugh at that. I can watch that and laugh at that all day. It's even funnier when you realise the bit where he's actually walking out after throwing the water at the waiter and he slips. That wasn't planned. That was him slipping on the water that he threw at him.
Was it?
Yeah, early on in the scene, and he just goes head over tip.
I'll keep it in there.
Sorry, I still haven't shut this cough off weeks ago. Yeah, so that just wasn't planned. That wasn't part of the script or nothing, and that just makes it funnier. It's definitely a different take on the Christmas Carol type of film. But now when you see a new Christmas Carol, they don't do the Ghost of Christmas Past and the Ghost of Christmas Future, do they? They just do the Spirit of Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that for that sort of setup, I think my favourites are obviously like Muppets Christmas Carol, definitely. But I've got a bit of a soft spot for like.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not talking. Listen. Oh, right, okay. I see how he's doing it. Yeah, that's understandable. Thanks, mate. But no, I've got a bit of a soft spot for the Blackadder one.
Hmm.
You know, where they do that. I think that's pretty funny how they do that. But it's a story that's been reimagined multiple times, hasn't it?
Yeah. But like I said, I don't think you could beat Scrooged. You know, you've got the original Christmas Carol, haven't you? Yeah. So that the way they did that was brilliant. But then when you've got Scrooge, and then you've got the Muppets Christmas Carol, then you've got everything else, and it's just the same story told over and over again, isn't it? About him in that time period, where Scrooge took it out of that time period, that made it a bit more modern for the time that was in.
It was directed by Richard Donner. That's the guy who did the Superman, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that's cool.
So yeah, we had two really good films for homework this week, and I think we've pretty much been on the money with the homework movies since we've started our bit, apart from Peter and his bloody swimming athletics one that he made us watch a couple of weeks ago. He's just come out of Movie Chats prison for that one. He's allowed to make a film again for that.
So this is it, Monkey Thrifter. It's just that particular bit with the where he decides that actually he's going to be better off if he's bad. It's brilliant in that Blackadder one. It's like, well, hang on, what you're saying is, if I act like this, and then afterwards when he wakes up in the morning and fucking rips everyone apart.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But yeah, I think Ashley's just talking about that bit there. Then.
Yeah.
Right. Pick up some. We haven't got a year to review because we're just going to talk Christmas, aren't we, this week? So let's go to pickups of the week. So this week's pickups of the week should be dead straightforward for us both because we've had Not So Secret Santa this week.
Yeah. I mean, I've not been able to. I've actually ordered some Blu-rays this week online, but I'm trying to kill it back a little bit in case Lou decides she's picking up some for Christmas for me. I mean Santa. I've been trying to be a good boy and trying to only get things that I know she won't never in a million years get me. But yeah, other than that, like you say, it's Secret Santa. Got some good bits.
Yeah. As you saying Santa, but do you remember walking past the grotto in Torquay?
No.
When we walked past the upstairs grotto and we were talking about Santa not existing.
Oh, God, yeah. No, you were. Like kids walking past. I'm like, stay up.
Do you want to go first, mate? We'll share yours.
Yeah, it's only a few bits, really. So part of my Secret Santa that I got sent through by Shabba is I got some Game of Thrones magnet set, which is cool. The other stuff aren't really movie related, and then a Toy Story t-shirt, which I'm looking forward to wearing, which is cool. So yeah, I was dead chuffed with them. But I've ordered the Blu-rays that I've ordered this week. I've ordered the Craze because there's a limited edition that came out, So I'm waiting for that to come. And Knock Knock, which is the Keanu Reeves, film with Keanu Reeves in, about the two girls that knock on the door. I enjoyed that, but I thought I'd pick it up. I think there was one other one, and I'm not sure what it was now.
Knock Knock. Is that the one where?
It was a few years ago. I mean, I think it was probably about 2015, 16.
Is that the one where they tried to sexually abuse him or something?
Basically, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because what was the other one that was along that lines? There was Knock Knock and was it Elaine Page?
Oh, geez. Now you're asking. I think what's that other one I got? Oh.
And I know I have seen both of them. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was only cheap on eBay, so I thought I'll pick it up for the collection because it's one I never picked up. But the Craze one, I'd seen it on. I'd seen it on Amazon. It came out with about 25 quid. It's a bit like the Marriage Story one I've got. It's like a limited edition thing. Anyway, when I've gone on Amazon now and eBay, it's like 40 or 50 quid. So I had a look, and CEX have got it in stock, and they're selling it for 15. So I've just ordered it from them.
Yeah, well, honest says I remember that Knock Knock, and I think we turned it off.
Yeah. It's not going to win any awards. It definitely didn't win any awards that I'm aware of, but I just found it an interesting concept. My wife's away, and these girls just knock on the door, and it basically leads a bit down that path, doesn't it?
Yeah. What did I get this week? So I did quite well on my Not So Secret Santa. I was made up. I got a big Predator to go with the little Predator here. So I got the little one off Chris. Well, I got the little one off Chris not so long ago, and then I've obviously Mrs. Tonks now sent me the big one.
Give me 2 seconds, I'm just going to grab something.
And then I got a Nightwing, Dick Grayson, DC Dick Grayson. He was the first Robin. A nice little Green Hornet keyring, which will go in my keys this weekend. I got a Terminator skull. And I got a great Batman jumper as well. From them, which I'll have to wear, because I do like that design. I think that's awesome. But that wasn't the only Secret Santa that we did. We did one with our neighbours. So the three houses, we all picked each other, and we did Secret Santa. And Mike picked me, and he got me this. It's an awesome 1995 talking Will Riker from Star Trek Next Generation. And as you can see from the back there, I've got quite a few Star Trek stuff already. And the best thing about this one is that he's still boxed and you can hear him talking.
Red alert. Energize.
So for a toy that's near enough 25 years old, I think that's absolutely amazing. Shabba, what were you asking me here, mate?
What's that, mate?
Shabba's asked me a question. I've just gone through me stuff, mate, so you've not missed much because I've showed you it before we started. The talking Will Riker. Shabba's asking, which is my favourite G1 Transformers and why? I like Shockwave. I haven't got a G1 version of Shockwave, unfortunately, but I have got a Shockwave. And the reason why I love him is that because he's just so different compared to the other Transformers, and it's because they bought him from another toy line and then just brought him in and renamed him and then threw him in the middle of the cartoon.
Wow.
And Cut, he joined in the Transformers movie. The G1's over there. He's the old guy that Hot Rod talks to and takes the Mickey out of all the way through the film. And he just reminds him of me. But that's just who I am. Talking Shockwave, there's Shockwave on my arm as well. If I can get a good picture of him, that's Shockwave there. Yeah, the G1s. I love my G1s and I love my Transformers, and I'm not a big fan of these re-releases of the G1s in G1 style packaging. Wow, Dad didn't realise you were such a nerd. I take it that's either Jessica or Amelia. That would be one of mine. If join us on YouTube, kids, and then your comments you'll be able to see the comments.
Hey Z, hope you're well.
Evening Z. Yeah, so the Transformers are just brilliant.
You need to go downstairs, mate. Yeah, I can see that.
But like you say, I would suggest it's my eldest.
Is it?
That's my eldest, yeah. And I don't know what you're calling me a nerd for, babe, because you'll inherit some of this.
That's your inheritance. You're taking a mick off there.
You know, you'll have to fight Lana for it.
Oh, I think Lana will be like, yeah, I go. There you go. I'll take it. I never really liked Transformers.
But yeah. Lana saying this isn't a kid-friendly show. So it'll be interesting, Shabba. Have you got like a favourite Transformer?
Me?
No, Shabba.
Oh, right, I was going to say.
That's not nice, that, Jess.
And she could have it for free. Just like the dad. Just like the dad, honestly.
Unless she could have the money for them. Yeah. I don't know, Steve. That's a good question. Now, what's your favourite part of the collection that you've got?
To be fair, a lot of this stuff isn't really behind here. I like me Back to the Future time machines, obviously. This new bad boy that I got. But a lot of my stuff's downstairs, still in the glass cabinet. So probably like one of my aliens or something like that that's in there is good. But I've got an array of stuff, mate. It's all over the show, isn't it?
I've told you, mate. Your aliens in the wrong room. They need to be over here with the rest of them behind me.
There is. I would probably pay to see you try and get that on without breaking it. Honestly, it's I don't want to be sending that home for a 3-hour journey or whatever it would be. Robots, what happened to them?
That went the wrong call.
Yeah, because we can still see what you're doing, Steve.
Yeah, but you just can't hear me. Right. Sorry about that, guys. Next week.
Dave said, GoBots, what happened to them?
GoBots. Well, GoBots were released before Transformers. They were released the year before.
So they're the originals then?
They were released.
Transformers is a remake then, isn't it?
They were released before Transformers.
So Transformers isn't a new idea.
But same premise. They had the Guardians and they had, I can't remember what the bad guys were called in GoBots. But same premise. They had a good set and a bad set. They had Leader 1, who was a jet plane, who was the leader of the Guardians, and then they had Southwell, which was the motorbike. And then Transformers come along and blew it out the water. The cartoon was quite good. I like the cartoon, but the figures just weren't as of good quality compared to Transformers. And then by the time they made the figures in better quality, Transformers just destroyed them. However, they're now owned by Hasbro and Tonka, which is the company that owns Transformers. So GoBots are now part of the Transformers universe, but just a different dimension. So they are part of it, and Rock Lords was going to be their way of crossing it over into Transformers, but it just never happened. But yeah, the Transformers killed off GoBots. But,
I don't know. I didn't realise that it was a copy. The Transformers. I thought they were the originals.
well, Transformers itself was a take off two toy lines. Anyway, it was Diaclones and Minutemen, and they literally lifted the patterns off those toy lines and then just renamed them. So that's how come Optimus Prime. You'll see some Optimus Primes being called Convoy, and he was Convoy and stuff like that. There was other Transformers. There was, like I said before, Shockwave was taken out. He was called Astro Gun. He was taken from another toy line altogether, and so was Jetfire. So that's why you see some of them that you can tell are part of the series, and then some of them just look completely different and stand out. And it's because they were taken from different shows.
But it was created to sell toys, essentially, though, wasn't it?
They had the toys.
Otherwise, there'd never have been so many of them, surely.
They had the toys, but the toy line came out first, and then they didn't do so well. And then they released the cartoon to boost
the toys
sales for the toys. And then, obviously, the Transformers movie, the 86 movie, that was a great way of killing off 70% of... getting rid of 70% of the original cast of Transformers to bring up new characters. So the likes of Hot Rod and Corp and RC and Springer, they were all characters that were brought out solely for the movie. And then they went into later series. However, there was a big kickoff because kids complained to parents and then parents complained to Hasbro about the death of Optimus Prime. And that's how come he comes back later on in the middle of season 3. He brought him back.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a sore point, wasn't
it? Yeah. However, it is probably one of the greatest movie scenes ever made. That the death of Optimus Prime. Yeah, I have made a short on that though. Go back and watch the short, and it'll explain it all. But yeah, sorry, I can talk Transformers for hours, as you could probably tell. Was that the DJ Cat show? Early Sky.
The thing is, with Sky One for me, the only thing I remember is Fun Factory. Like early days, and that was when the Sky Dish was about the size of this room. And we used to go around to Bananas at a weekend and watch the Fun Factory on a Saturday morning, and then I think wrestling after that. I think.
Yeah. Oh, Rock Lords, robots that turn into rocks. Yeah. What's strange? Why would anyone want to buy a toy line of robots that turn into rocks? What's this? I like all the Bay movies, but new gen. My daughter's 19. Yeah.
Yes.
The thing with the Michael Bay movies was we've seen now with the likes of Bumblebee that they can make Transformers with the G1 style in movies, and it works. You know, and Michael Bay sort of tried to bring a modern look to them, and I don't like what they did with Hot Rod. They made him French for some reason. I don't know why they did that later on in films. Killing characters so early on. You know, the Jazz, you don't even see, you see Jazz get ripped apart, but you don't realise it's him until they say he's dead. And then Ironhide's another one, you know, and I know they died in Ironhide died in the cartoon movie.
Yeah.
Jazz, did Jazz die? No, Jazz didn't die. But they sort of just took it a bit too far for me. They made them too robotic.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, yeah, I don't know. It just didn't sit right with me. But don't get me wrong, I love the first two Michael Bay movies, but after that, they just got silly. The further and
Yeah.
further along they got. That last one, the last night.
I don't think I've actually watched that yet. I loved the first couple, like you say, but it was just when it got after that I just started picking them up. In fact, I've seen Bumblebee and I haven't seen that last night one.
Yeah. There's just a handsy. There's a D1 Dirge.
Ah, okay.
He said he had a G1 Thrust. I've got a G1 Starscream somewhere.
See, Dave said there, 1988, I think, mate. The sky dishes were huge. Yeah, they were. That's the thing I remember about them. You knew someone had sky because it literally was blocking a window. Was that fucking big?
Yeah, it's gonna split people into that one. See, if they prefer the Bay movies over the G1 styling, but I think if we had the Michael Bay movies with the Bumblebee styling, you know, the car and stuff like that, and I know Bumblebee looks like Bumblebee now in the Bay movies, but the Cybertron scenes where they were all G1, that was amazing. You know, just seeing that throwback. That was the opening scene to the cartoon.
Dave says his mate had a manga VHS and had a few. He saw a few were amazing. He said, off subject. Sorry, I'm quite happy with that, Dave. So cheers for that, mate. But I'm not a big manga fan. I've never been able to get into it really. What was it I watched? I want to say Devil May Cry, but it's not that. It was Full Metal Alchemist. I watched that series and enjoyed that, but I've never really got into any of it.
Have you seen the latest ones on Netflix? The Full
No.
Metal Alchemist. There's about 3 or 4 different ones. There's the 2 original series, and then there's 2 series that Netflix have done.
Yeah.
It was the same with Gundam. The original 1980s Gundams are on there, and Akira.
Yeah.
They're all on there, and then the later stuff is on there as well.
It's not something I ever got into, really.
It's something I've got into while I've been older, and I think lockdowns helped with that. You know, actually being able to have the time to
well, you have completed Netflix, haven't you? That's the story.
I have worked my way through Netflix. I was looking at new series that was coming on Netflix. Do you know when you go to the news section? Do you know when you go to the news section? It's like what's been out this week and what's out next week and whatever. We were trying to find something to watch, and I've seen that, I've watched that, and when these are going to come out this week, I know, but I've still watched them.
Well, this is it. There has been a couple of things you've chucked on though the last few weeks, which has been pretty good. But it's not something I've really tried to get into much, manga. So it might be something I need to look at.
Z's got 2 here, Demon Slayer and Tokyo Ghoul. Now I haven't seen either of them. It's Death Note manga or anime. It's a bit of both, I think, Joanne.
That's quite a famous one, isn't it? Death Note.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a few mangas on there like Bucky and stuff like that, and where he goes off fighting and he fights all like gangsters and crime bosses and stuff. That's good. And
you say Bucky, all I think of is Bucky O'Hare.
Yeah, there was one on there that I was watching. It's not on now, but what was it called? Oh, like Ghosts, Gods of Olympus or something.
Yeah.
And again, it's another fighting one. Normal men fight gods and stuff like that. And that was more of like a still sort of anime, where the others are like brutal.
Richard said Akira is good.
Yeah, Akira.
No, Akira.
Akira's brilliant. Right, are we? I'll tell you what we'll do. Should we put the link in the chat and we'll bring somebody on?
If you want to, yeah.
See if anyone wants to come on.
We need to chat about Christmas things.
Wow. We'll put the link in and then we'll jump into free for all.
Okay, mate.
So there you go, guys. I've put the link in the chat now. So feel free to come on and join us. We don't just have to talk about Christmas. It's just a Christmas party jumper. Christmas jumper party. Yeah. So I've watched the new Matrix today. Has anyone in the chat watched the new Matrix today? Because I did do an honest review of it and put it out before we come live. So
You were on it today with that, weren't you?
I was, mate. Yeah, that. So I was. It's gone. The other thing I've watched, Dave watched it. Yeah, I thought Dave. What did you think? So the other thing I've watched today was the end of Hawkeye. So I'm all up to date with Hawkeye. That's now finished. Have you seen it yet, Steve?
No, now it's sort of finished. I'll crack through that one. I don't like doing it where I've got to wait, so I'd rather binge watch it.
Yeah. And another series that I've started watching again. No spoilers. No, it's too early for spoilers, Shabba. And it's not like me, but that's why I've asked the question: has everybody watched it yet? I'll hold on for a week or two to give you a chance to watch it.
So generous, aren't you?
Sorry?
You're so generous.
Yeah, I want people to make their own mind up on it before I slate it.
Before you rip it a new one.
Yeah, before I ruin it for everyone. And you're just talking there, weekly episodic series. There's one that has started for me on Amazon Prime called The Expanse. It's now on season 6.
Yeah.
And they've put it weekly now, where they usually just release the whole season. And it does me head in now because I'm all up to date. I've now got to wait another couple of days so I can watch the new episode. And I don't know my streaming services do that. I know, Witcher dropped last week and I just binge watched the whole of Witcher.
Have you watched series 2 now, have you?
Sorry?
Have you watched series 2 now, have you?
Yeah. Yeah, I've binge watched that. I've binge watched The Punisher. That all got done again. What else did I watch? There was a new series and I've watched that as well. Couldn't have been that good. I've watched it.
Hi, Mandy.
One of the things that I've watched, finally got around to watching, was Terminator Dark Fate.
All right.
Have you seen that?
You can't spoil it for anybody, really, I don't think. So knock yourself out on that one.
Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah, I saw it. As soon as it came out, I got it on Blu-ray.
So they saved the world.
Yep.
They go to Hawaii or wherever it was, and John gets shot at the bar chatting up a girl.
Yeah.
Right. So bosh.
That caused uproar, that did.
Yeah. And then 20 years later, we've got a new Skynet called Legion.
Yeah.
And then we've got a new savior that they're trying to kill. That's what I've got from Dark Fate.
Yeah.
Right. So we're forgetting the Genesis.
All of them are the first 2.
Yeah. So you're forgetting Rise of the Machines, Genesis, Salvation, and no, that's it, isn't it? Those 3. You're forgetting those 3 exist. So we've now just replaced John Connor with Danny Rose.
Mm-hmm.
And the story starts again. Yeah?
In a way, yeah.
Right. And I think Arnie's now ran his course. He needs to stop these little cameos that he's doing in all these films now. because Carl was just looking too old, wasn't he?
Yep. And he had like a wife and all the rest of it, didn't he?
Yeah. It's just run its course now for me, Arnie being the Terminator. But then I didn't think much of the Terminator design in this film.
No. The only thing that was good for me was Sarah Connor came back.
Mm.
And that was a bit of a... She wasn't like any sort of main character, though. Do you know what I mean? She was like the old wise one, weren't she, really?
Yeah, Shabba saying he wasn't called Bob, he was called Carl.
Yeah.
And he had a non-emotional relationship with a woman or something,
Yeah. And a dog, I think, if I remember rightly. Or he had a kid as well. Did he have? No, she had a kid, didn't she?
He had a kid, yeah. He was just there, wasn't he?
Well, it's all right, Dave. We're not talking about Marvel. We're talking about Terminator.
Yeah. We've talked about this before several times about them not being able to come up with new, fresh ideas.
Yeah.
And because I know The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, he's trying to reboot The Running Man and stuff like that, isn't he now? So
Yeah.
You know, and I think Terminator has run its course totally now. You know, and there's no point throwing out a new movie every 3 or 4 years.
No.
If they're not going to be able to, come up with something fresh.
They can't even make their mind up whether or not they want to include the movies that they've already made.
No.
Just. Yeah, I think it's done now, innit? It's got to be done. I think there might have been a sequel plan, but I think that got cancelled.
It's like the Alien movies. You know how much I love that franchise. The fact that they're talking about now not making the sequel to Covenant, finishing that one off, and they're talking about putting a film in between Aliens and Alien 3, and then forgetting that Resurrection. What was it called? What was it? Alien Resurrection. Yeah, forgetting that exists altogether.
I mean, I obviously my favourites are 1 and 2 anyway, so particularly 2 I think over 1 for me. But then I've seen 2 before I saw 1. But yeah, the rest of them are just garbage. Because
the new Predator film is going to be set in like the 1300s. It's about Predator crash landing and taking on an Indian tribe, and the person that fights it is an Indian woman who's not accepted as a warrior in a tribe. If we're going that far into the past to make it relevant to the Predators actually being deadly again, that worries me. But then when you come back to The Predator, which was the latest film, and they're talking about all the DNA splicing and everything that they've done so they can evolve over the years as a race, that also worries me because it just says that they've not got any ideas.
I mean, the thing is that, like you said, and I'm of the opinion that the majority of Hollywood now is just regurgitating the same stuff. Do you know what I mean? And it gets to a point where it's like it's rare to find a new concept in a movie nowadays. And if they are, they're generally classed as sort of indie movies, and stuff like that, because people are obviously going to see blockbusters of films that have been already covered, really. Was talking to sci-fi the other day.
That would be a great remake. That one. Shoot. What's the robots called? Was it Vincent and Maximilian? In the
What, on the Black Hole?
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think
know.
the little
mate.
silver one was called Vincent, and the big red one was Maximilian, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But there'll be brilliant modern day effects on it.
Yeah.
But again, it's remaking it, isn't it? That's But knowing Disney, they probably want to put a ride in one of the parks and see how it does before they make a film, because that's how they tend to do it these days.
Yeah, well, this is it. But I mean, the thing is that now is it MGM in it Disney? That's the other one. They bought another one out. Is it Paramount?
I don't think they bought Paramount, have they?
They bought somebody out, and it was like they're just gonna keep building on franchises from those studios. So it's actually even the Edge show was good in that room.
Yeah, they. What other good films would I like them to see that do it again?
Let's have a look. Studios.
I don't know, Chad. That's a good one for you.
20th century. That's what I'm thinking of.
Who?
So studios that Disney own: Pixar, Lucasfilm, Walt Disney Animation, 20th Century Studio, Marvel Entertainment, Walt Disney Studios, Walt Disney Pictures, Touchstone Pictures. There's a list as long as my arm, mate, of all these studios they own. But it was 20th Century. That's what I was thinking of.
See, Battle Beyond the Stars and The Last Starfighter. The Last Starfighter is such a classic film, though. I don't know if I'd want that ruined by a. That'll be like what they did when they remade Rollerball. They and tried to put a modern day twist on Rollerball and just ruined the whole concept of it. And I think they just do that with The Last Starfighter.
Yeah.
Because the effects in that and the costumes used were brilliant in the first place. Because the effects in that and the costumes used were brilliant. What are you watching me on now?
I've fixed it again. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not doing it now. Not doing it now. I was looking at something, but it seems to have.
Good evening, Mr. Zahir.
Oh, he's here.
Evening.
Merry Christmas, mate.
Merry Christmas. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, fine, mate, yeah.
Super. All right, evening, Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas, mate.
How's things?
Yeah, good. Yeah, just enjoying the movie chat as well.
Oh, thank you.
Just love talking about movies. It's just fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm kind of funny about Matrix as well. I saw your video earlier, and I'm like, you kind of confirmed my fears. So it's something that I'll watch when it's probably on DVD or something. I kind of feel like, Keanu's been putting out a lot of movies, and I don't know, just he did another Bill and Ted, didn't he, as well? And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
that seems to be the going thing though at the minute, doesn't it? Get these movies that they've not done in 20 years.
Like, Hollywood's just regurgitating too much, isn't it? I think that's the issue. It really is. And like, when you look at it, the movies that have kept really dear in people's hearts, like really dear, are like, your Back to the Futures or your Gremlins, where people have been clamoring forever, haven't they?
Yeah.
But obviously, for understandable reasons, like Back to the Future never got because Back to the Future should be rinsed a million times over.
Exactly.
Even if you look at Ghostbusters, it should have been rinsed a lot more than it has been, infinitely more than it has been. And I think there's something to be said for keeping like the quality of the IP, and it's like a real shame when, like, Matrix was mind blowing when it came out. For example, like it was.
Yeah.
I remember it was everything about it was mind blowing. Like it made the Nokia phone call, like the Nokia phone.
Oh yeah,
wasn't
I've got
cool.
that
Yeah,
one.
the 7110 I think it was, or
Yeah.
something like that. Like the phone was not cool. Like at that stage in phones, it was all about smaller and more compact. And
Like
then
armless sunglasses.
oh, do you know what I mean? Like, and that movie came out, and it genuinely was like it was genuinely different, and it had created a completely new world that we hadn't seen before. I
Everything
mean,
had bullet time after that, didn't it?
well, that's exactly. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that it introduced a new technique that then got rinsed to death. But the point is,
Yeah.
it was there, and I think that was a really good time because obviously around that time you also had things like Fifth Element as well, like new something fresh, and like when you hear about yet another Predator movie or yet another Alien spin-off or whatever, and it's
It
like
loses the glitz for me. It loses the glamour
yeah,
of.
because they're
I don't know what's
using
going on.
you can tell straight away because it's not based on like a new story or anything. It's not based on anything concrete. It's just literally it's kind of like half-hearted cash grab based on former glories, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
the simply all it is. Like there's not it's not that the director's got a story to tell. It's just, I mean, like why is Indiana Jones still so great? Because again, that could have been rinsed. I mean, people were saying that the one with Sean Connery
fourth
was
one.
pushing it. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
the
said that
Skull
was
Kingdom,
pushing.
what it
Yeah,
was.
you know what I mean. And
Skull.
I do feel
Yeah.
like there's something to be said about that. And I think it's like there are ways that you can get around it. Like the new Spider-Man movie, we went to see that, and I think they're clever. What they've done there is clever,
Yeah,
but it works only for that universe because of the idea of the multiverse, right? So
Yeah.
it gives that actually give they've you can tell with whether you like Marvel or not. What I like about what they've done is that was true big business. You could tell
yeah,
the moment that they made like Iron Man, it was even though Iron Man was but once they knew Iron Man was a hit, you could tell the cogs were then in motion. Like once they knew
yeah,
Iron Man was like the mega hit, because Iron Man was like a standalone in its
yeah.
own right, isn't it? But once they saw what it did for their bank balance, they did the smart thing, which was that's when the ball started rolling from back
Yeah.
then,
It
and that's when
always,
they
Well, that
created. Yeah,
that
Karen.
end game arc, or I think they've now called it. They've officially called it the Infinity Saga, haven't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was like 12 years or so in the making.
Exactly. It's
Of-
genius. Like it's
yeah.
like you could tell they knew exactly how all these franchises would then get their own spin-offs and their own runs.
it
and
was
then
when they
feed
were
it.
announcing the phases, and you'd
Exactly.
be like, "Hang on a second, who the bloody hell's that? Or what's
And they've
that
done
about?"
it. They've
They
done it
knew
again.
what
Yeah.
they were doing.
They've done it again, haven't they? Now with Phase 4 or whatever. And
Yeah.
I know people are very kind of a bit nervous about it because obviously after Robert Downey and Iron Man, that's like a big loss, isn't it? Like
Oh,
that's
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
But the thing is, because of planning alone, it
Yeah.
means it's going to get rid of a lot of issues that other franchises run into. Like the main thing that sticks in people's craw, I think, is when, like you were talking about Terminator, like how the stories just don't work
No.
because they've just been
They're basically asking us to
tacked
do
on
five,
and-
three movies.
Same with Aliens, because they weren't initially, the story arc was not initially there. It's not like it's not like freaking, who's the dude that did Alien, for example? I can't remember his name. His name's gone
James
from
Cameron.
no,
Ridley Scott.
huh? Ridley Scott. Yeah,
Scott.
it's not like Ridley Scott gave out like decades worth of Alien story. It wasn't like that. You don't like when, like, to take it to another similar idea though, like for example Apple. The reason why people love Apple is apparently even when Steve Jobs died, he'd already got like 10 years of ideas.
Yeah.
He knew what was happening, so long after he's gone people could still work to his vision or whatever. I don't know if that's true or not, but even when he was alive that certainly was the case. He had it road mapped, right? Anything has to be road mapped, and the problem is you've got all these films that came out in the 80s and 90s which weren't road mapped, but because we're now of the age where we want to get that hit, that fix, that kind of nostalgia hit, they're looking at the money and they're just tacking things on that aren't there, and it just doesn't work.
So
Yeah.
I shared the trailer to the new Halo series in the Facebook group the other week. I've
So
done
just
some
get a drink.
I've done some research on that, and I know you'd love your Halo Infinite and see. Have you seen any of the extended Halo universe, any of the books or the comics or anything like that?
See, for me, like Halo, I did enjoy the story from like Halo 3, but I'm just a multiplayer whore. That's it. That's it. I
So
just play. I
the,
literally don't. I've not even bought the campaign, even though it's meant to be insanely good and everything. I've just been playing ranked every night. I just play
well,
ranked.
if you've got Xbox Game Pass,
Yeah.
the campaign's free. You don't need to pay
I
for
know,
it.
no, I'm playing on PC, so I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just playing ranked. I just play ranked multiplayer, but again, that's got because it's not really been that's got big lore behind it. Definitely, I know that Halo's been very well written. It's got a lot of stories, a lot of books, and I think they could do something with that.
So what they're doing with the series is that they're ignoring. They've took elements of the backstory and elements of the lore, and then they've made their own sort of
Yeah,
spin
yeah.
to it. So Chief's in it very sparsely. He'll just come in and dip in and dip out. But they're focusing on other characters, but they're not picking up the expanded universe stories. They're coming up with their own stories.
See, I think that's
Trying to stick within the lore of
Yeah.
Halo as well. And
I knew if I left it to it, Halo will come up.
Yeah, but I think that's
you
not
can
a bad
you can stop.
idea.
I've got my new co-host now.
I don't necessarily think that's a bad idea though. When
It's
people
not.
do that,
But
yeah.
if you've got a lore, Alien, for example, you've got a lore, you've got that extended universe behind it. Because one of the ideas is this film that is between Aliens and Alien 3, where it's not the first time they've been picked up in the rescue craft. They're picked up and taken to a space station, and that's where you see Hicks and Newt die. But you don't see that in Alien 3; they're just dead.
But I think this is the problem of this is the problem of like not. I'm all for lore and story arcs, but they've got to be more than such a small event. Like what you're talking about is you're talking about, for example, traveling. When they escape from in Aliens, it's such a small bit of action, as it were. Like if you made a movie about it, it wouldn't be very. How much can happen? I mean, you could. They could have put another stowaway alien on the ship or something. But the thing is, with for example, the MCU again, is it's massive. Like it is, it's much more fleshed out. It's about how fleshed out something is, and if it's not fleshed out from the core, like Alien was never fleshed out to be. And I think that's what the problem is with all of these shows. And it might be the problem with Halo. Who knows? It depends on how fleshed out it is. And the thing is, even when I say the Marvel stuff is fleshed out, I don't mean it's been deeply written like it's Tolkien or some shit. I mean literally that it's designed to be.
It's all interlinked, and they know now that the film now
it's it's like a big bloated thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's designed to be bloated. That's the design. The design is for this massive bloated. Each spin-off has spin-offs of its own. Like you can watch Guardians of the Galaxy. It's got 3 films of its own and is a tiny part, but we know it's a part because we saw Star-Lord and
Guardians was a B-list comic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
but in itself, they've created like amazing. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then
the thing with Halo though, the story for Halo Infinite is spread over 10 years now. They know that platform's going to take it. What they've got in motion is going to take them 10 years to do. Alien, like you say, when they released Alien, it was just a standalone space horror. And then the extended thing and the flushing out's happened behind that and all the different aliens. But that small event of Hicks and Newt dying made them rewrite the start of Alien 3 5 times. It was still being written as they were filming it, how they were going to do the start of that film. That's why you've got 3 separate openings to the film and 3 different aliens on how it's gestated. And they still didn't know how they were going to do it. Same with the ending of the film. The ending of the film was still being wrote as it was being filmed. So it is like that. But now, like you say, that film's 40 years old now. So it's at that point where it's had so much written into it that we're going back to that Terminator point where you're being asked now to forget 3 films, so it's got a clear arc going through, so they can build.
It actually worked.
I mean, I think all we can hope is people are going to obviously try to emulate what. It depends really. I don't know. I think we just need that bit of freshness, because I think people are going to try to emulate what Disney and Marvel and stuff are doing, but you can't, because you need that kind of money behind you as well. That's a very specific use case that's like really popular, and I think other movies have to kind of accept that they're not going to be like that. Like I mean, Shabba was saying something about Star Wars there. Yeah, it's become. That's the thing. Like even Star Wars, it becomes too. If it's not cohesive and clear enough, it becomes a bit of a like the new Star Wars movies. They don't even need to be there. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't need. It's just because
Palpatine clone thing ruined it for me for the end of that.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because I think we're all one. I think it's that mix of nostalgia that you want to see the familiar, but you want to see it done like rehashed almost.
There's a question for you, Dempsey. Obviously, you see toy lines coming in and remakes of toys and stuff like that. What current toy line now can you see them making a movie of, or which current toy line would you like to see a movie of?
Honestly, it's I know this is going to sound really silly, but firstly, I like the new stuff better because for me, toys are about like the progression. Like for me, I don't care if your Boba Fett's worth 50 grand. It still looks like really. Yeah. It looks like a really crap figure.
Yeah,
I don't want that. It's just, I don't care. It could be worth $1 million. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's not an impressive. Like a bar of gold's worth, I don't know, 70 grand. It's not that impressive to look at. Still, it's still just a bar of yellow metal. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not impressive. Like for me, an action figure's got to look really good, and that's not a cost thing. Like for me, NECA's is just destroying things at the moment. But what I would really like is an official it's going to sound really random, but I've just been watching the clip from it because I'm like, how did I forget this? Do you remember in X-Men Apocalypse when Quicksilver runs into the mansion and saves all those people to Eurythmic's Sweet Dreams? You can just sit there and you can just watch it, and I'm like, I couldn't find a Quicksilver figure to add to my collection. There's no official Quicksilver figure. Like, he has to be one of the most underrated characters. Just out of cool factor, he was amazing.
Yeah. I like the scene where he's in the kitchen thing.
Oh yeah, the kitchen for the mansion with Sweet Dreams, man. Come on. And he saves that little French bulldog where he eats all the pizza and the dog's got a slight.
There is one toy line, and I know they've made a cartoon of it, but there is one toy line that I wish they'd make a film of or like a live TV series, and that's Zoids. Do you remember Zoids?
I don't, Sorry.
Yeah, they're all like battle mechs. Like you twist the little knobs on and they all move around. They're all like gorillas or dinosaurs or.
Oh no! The name's familiar, but I can't picture. I'm sure if I pictured them.
Now you can pick up a broken Zoid now for £20, but if you were to get in a working original one still in the box, you're talking
hundreds probably. Yeah.
So if anyone comes here with a collection of Zoids, then they're worth picking up, and then let me know that you've got one. Sorry, Lana, I'm on a toy ban. I'm not allowed to buy anything.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
But yeah, I'd love to see them make a series of Zoids. That'd be really, really good.
Yeah,
what about you, Steve?
it's such a divisive topic, this though. Like the whole, because we're all guilty of it, because we want to see the rehash stuff, don't we?
Yeah, I think secretly inside you
Yeah.
do want to see it.
Secretly, you do want to see it done.
I
You
think
just
the
want to
thing
see
is
it done better, don't you? You just want to see it
but
done.
we've been burnt so many times that you sort of, I think you're more reluctant than you would probably be, just because you're thinking, I hope they don't ruin it, anymore.
Yeah, I think also some of these old movies. The issue with some of these old movies is they were heavily reliant on, like, especially the Arnie movies. They were heavily reliant on the lead. Like, it was all about Arnie.
Yeah.
And like I think that's kind of what made it. And then films like Alien, like the alien itself is really kind of clumsy bad guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, and the more you show of it, then the dafter it looks. Because when you first point out to someone that basically its head's a bell end, it makes it. It makes a mockery of it, doesn't it? And then you suddenly are not scared of it anymore. And the only reason
it worse, it's when they make header knocker figures like that makes it look like he's wearing a condom.
Exactly. So, and then that takes away all the fright factor, doesn't it? And it's like it was they were amazing in the first two movies because of it was all really flashed and quick, wasn't it? And I can argue the same about the original Transformers movie. I remember when I first went to see the Michael Bay Transformers movie at the cinema, I was like, part of me was like, oh, this is taking the mick, because it was so the blurry cam and but the thing is, over time, that's exactly what I now love about that movie, because it should be disorientating and blurry, and you should be like, you see giant robots flashing by, it would be a bit of a blur. And the more you kind of show it, like in high detail and too much, when you show too much of something, you know what I mean? Like, it's that whole thing of, it's too much. You don't want to just give it all out. And I think the more the movies have gone on, the more kind of they've just relied on, like, the Alien was the worst. Was it called the Covenant? When the Xenos just running rampage, like, out in the open and running across the space, and you're getting full shots of its body. Like, before that, it just doesn't look. It doesn't look menacing. You know what I mean? And it looks a bit weird, in my opinion. Whereas in the other movies,
you got that in Alien 3, didn't you? You got the full body shots of it.
You did, but it was. Do you know why that worked in a way for me? Was the posture of that alien, because it was like a dog, so it was, because it was like kind of had that stance, didn't it? Like, it was almost like, I think that's the only reason it got away with it. Whereas when you start going like, bipedal, like upright type thing, it starts looking a little bit iffy.
Well, the point is that they take on the form and the DNA of what they've gestated in, didn't they? So the alien from Alien came from Kane.
But the thing is, it's, I get that, but it's they didn't show too much of the alien in Alien, or even in Aliens. The most you saw of them was when they were swimming, and they looked dangerous then, which I thought was awesome. Like, and even in Resurrection, I think they showed them swimming, like, there's like a water scene, and I think they look kind of, that is scary in water. They seem to like suit, that whole swimming fast at you in water vibe. I like that. But when they're like running at you, you don't want to see it too much. You want
to, because the big bell end makes them cut through the water quicker, less resistant. So I do like that, but I don't think we get that in modern day horror now. I think modern day horror is more to do with showing you the monster to start off with. That's what you're dealing with. Where Alien and Aliens was more suspense of when's it coming out.
Yeah,
you don't see Xeno for the first 40
I don't think the audience has got the patience nowadays, mate. That's the thing.
Yeah, in Aliens,
a lot of these movies seem rushed.
Yeah, in Aliens, you don't see an alien for the first 45 minutes of the film.
And even when you do see it, it's flash, bam.
Yeah.
But the thing is that 45 minutes now, there's a lot more of a chance that they might go, you know what, I'm not watching this, it's boring, or it's not what I wanted.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be there and then, and it's rushing things like that.
Yeah, and I think that's why we need new. I think this is why we need new. This is why we need new kind of IPs. Really, I think this is what it comes down to. We just need new, fresh, like, fresh. Give me like a fresh monster, or a fresh alien, or a fresh, Not, when I say fresh alien. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when I mean a fresh alien, I kind of mean like a fresh, as in new monster, not like a fresh aliens movie.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew.
Good evening. How are you?
Evening.
I'm here to share
Something
my
that's a bit more original. You just need something original, don't we?
I think they should do a movie about a time traveling alien that can regenerate and lives in a big blue box.
Really?
That's my idea.
But you know what?
It's
As
a
much as
$1 million idea.
I'm not a fan of I've never really gotten into Doctor Who, but what I can appreciate about it is how different it is. Like, it is genuinely different. Like, Dalek is such a weird character design, and all the, well, to be honest with you, all the bad guys, like, you got those weird singing stone people, and I don't know anything about it. I've seen glimpses, and I'm like, that's really.
You mean the angels?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But I like that. I think there's something about. I mean, I can respect that. I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but I totally respect it because it's so different.
You've been requested, Andrew, back to eat another onion.
Sadly,
He
I
doesn't
have
have
no
one in the
onion.
house.
Right.
No onion. It's an onion-free house.
Next week's show, are we doing the wheel, Steve? Would you like to do the wheel?
Yeah, of course we can, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's share this then, and then we'll do the wheel.
What does your jumper say, Andrew?
I'm sexy and I know it.
Ah, okay. Cool.
I thought I'd go with the Christmas jumper theme. I know Big Steve failed to procure a jumper, but
I don't have a jumper either.
Can you see the wheel, guys?
Yep.
How's the store been this week then? See, has it been busy?
Okay. Oh, there we go.
I'll ask you when there isn't music on.
$19.94.
94.
1994.
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
thanks.
So, 1994. Sorry, matey, you asked Andrew a question then in the middle of the wheel spinning around.
No, I asked. I see how the shop's been this week.
It's been alright. The shop's fine. It's been fine.
Good.
Have you seen an increase in Daredevil merch since Kingpin's appeared in Hawkeye?
It doesn't happen that quickly, unfortunately. Like, it's not like. Yeah, stuff takes time to kind of, be announced and stuff. From what I've seen, anyway. Oh, I'm just looking at what films came out in '94. Some good ones.
Pulp Fiction was 94, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mask.
The Speed,
was
The
94.
Mask, yeah, Shawshank, Usual Suspect. Wow, what a year! The Crow.
I love the club.
There you go.
That rain all the time.
You're going to have to come back on next week then and do your top 5.
Interview with the Vampire.
Classic.
That is a
Brad
good
Pitt
movie.
and Tom Cruise.
And Kirsten Dunst.
Yes.
She was incredible in that.
She was only young in that, though, wasn't
She
she?
was like 10, wasn't she? Or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
definitely.
incredible in that film. Absolutely incredible. Forrest Gump as well, I didn't know. Yeah. Wow, what a good year, 94.
There we go. So, as you two are aware, we usually let the homework for next week be picked by the guests, and I assume that's why Andrew's joined us with 20 minutes to go, so he knows he can get another film out. So, Z, would you like to go first? Would you like to pick a movie for homework? I think you picked a good one last time. If I remember correctly, it was Big Trouble in Little China, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Should I say Time Cop?
Oh yeah.
No, Ace Ventura's on there as well. Oh gosh, there's so many good movies. This can't all be from '94, can
We
it?
might get an answer in a bit.
There can't be this many in just '94.
Yeah, it's a difficult one.
I'd have to go Pulp Fiction though, because I'd have to.
So is that your homework? Suggestion, Pulp Fiction?
If I can make it, I can't guarantee that I'll be around. But if I am,
Okay, well, for us to bloody watch, are we watching Pulp Fiction then?
I'd say Pulp. You can't go wrong with watching Pulp. Oh, Shallow Grave as well. Oh my God, so many good movies.
Andrew, what's your suggestion, mate?
Are we going 94? Are we?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to be 94, mate. It's just another movie that you wish we. Another movie that you'd like us all to watch.
Oh, Joanne's got a good one. The Thing.
The Thing.
John Carpenter one though, not the new CGI travesty.
So are we changing that one then?
I reckon.
No, I'm still Pulp Fiction.
I reckon Muriel's Wedding.
Muriel's Wedding. Wow.
Because I'm going to keep naming wrong. I'm going to keep naming rom-coms until little Steve watches Love Actually.
I've seen Muriel's Wedding.
Is somebody actually on a dating site here, Andrew, with all your suggestions recently?
Muriel's Wedding's alright, but I do prefer Strictly Ballroom. I prefer Strictly Ballroom, but Muriel's Wedding's alright.
Muriel's Wedding and Pulp Fiction. Okay.
That's quite a combination.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Clerks 94. Oh, can I change it to Clerks?
Yeah. Let's go with that then.
Have I still got a copy of that?
I have.
I didn't know Clerks was 94. Oh, wow.
It's my.
No, you can't. You can't change it because I've just spotted me extended edition.
Get me Kevin Smith collection out. We're watching Clerks.
You can sod off, you. Okay, Clerks and Muriel's Wedding. Okay, so there's our two homework movies, and the year for review was 1994. So next week's going to be a very interesting show. We should have some nice pickups with it being Christmas.
Yes, hopefully.
What movies did you watch last
than what
week?
I usually get on a week.
Oh, you didn't do it last week, did you? The movies.
The movies or the year?
Yeah.
We did hope. Yeah, we never done the year, mate. We're supposed to be talking Christmas this week, and that's never happened.
Best Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Right, let's get a list together. What have you got?
Best Christmas movie.
I don't need a list because it's just Die Hard.
Yeah, I've got Die Hard in my list. I've got Die Hard. I've got Jingle All the Way, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Home Alone 1 and 2, and The Muppets Christmas Carol.
Gremlins is going to be in there.
We saw Gremlins yesterday.
Yeah, Gremlins got to be on there, on it.
The code, Mr. Takagi. Oh, I love it so much.
I watched Die Hard the other day. It's on Disney, isn't it? They're all on Disney at the moment under Christmas specials. And Die Hard's in there as a Christmas movie.
Yeah, Die Hard. I mean, Gremlins was a lot of fun. We showed that. We saw that was it yesterday or the day before we watched it? Trying to watch movies in the evening, like just. But yeah.
Love Actually, definitely a classic Christmas film, as little Steve knows from having.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of my favourite. But yeah, Gremlins is up there. But I watched Die Hard the other day. That was officially Christmas for me when Die Hard went on. Come out to the ocean, get together, have a few laughs.
I'm trying to think of what other films are set around Christmas that people don't consider to be a Christmas film. I mentioned Money Train the other week, last week, didn't I?
Yeah.
Because that is set around Christmas.
Batman Returns.
Oh yes.
Oh, it's great film, man.
Batman, wasn't it?
No, Batman Returns.
The Returns was with all the the penguins guys with all their candy canes and all that.
Yeah. Which one's better then, Batman or Batman Returns? Because I've always
gotta
been a
be
massive fan of
Returns.
Batman Returns.
Yeah, it's got to be. Batman was good because obviously Jack Nicholson says never rub another man's rhubarb. I mean, that, come on, that's a great like because he pops up, he pops up, doesn't he, from the bottom right of the screen or something, and he's like never rub another with his big grin. Like that's just genius. But I remember seeing Catwoman. And
Oh mate, that was
at the time seeing Catwoman, just she was amazing, and obviously Danny DeVito and.
Well, speaking of Michael Keaton's Batman, hasn't he just announced he's going to be Batman in the new Batgirl film?
Apparently so, yeah.
I didn't know.
So he's in The Flash, isn't he, because of Flashpoint? And then he's going to have part in the new Batgirl film. So, yeah, I think he's trying to bring back his original Batman.
Wow.
Which I think is great. I don't reckon they should have swapped him over for Val Kilmer when they did.
No, but it wasn't Tim Burton after that, was it?
No.
Tim Burton only did the first two.
But the Batman, the original 1989 one for me is the one that you hold up and you score all the other Batman against.
No.
Yeah.
Let's say apart from the Joker, I'm stronger on number 2.
I've got to go for the Nolan movies. I'm sorry, but
well, we weren't talking Nolan.
Well, it's
I'm sorry, but I've
understandable, isn't it? I mean, it is the best surname known to man.
Yeah, well, yeah. For me, I'm just gonna go for the obvious Heath Ledger and
Dark Knight.
Yeah, Dark Knight has to be. Like it was impressive as hell. Like the use of IMAX.
I can make this pencil disappear.
Yeah, exactly. The first time you see that, that is like do you know what I mean? That's the kind of scene that really like. And I think it's also the fact that you never thought anyone could do Joker better than Jack Nicholson, and no one had dared even attempt that role.
Yeah, he nailed it, didn't he?
And he comes along, and he doesn't just. He made it his, like he made it his. It's like people hide behind like, but like it was obviously they're very different movies, aren't they? Different styles, so you can still protect. If you're a fan of the Jack Nicholson Joker, you can still be a fan of that because it's such a comic booky. The Tim Burton world just looked so cartoony and weird, didn't it? And everything about it, like it was very much like that. Like almost fantasy Batman that was, and then
Rocky 4 fought on Christmas Day. Yes, he did. That's right. Yeah.
Is that the one against Drago?
Yeah, that's the one against Drago. Have any of you seen the extended new release
of
Rocky 4 yet?
No, not yet.
It's supposed to have like half an hour's worth of unseen footage and
he's got to change the story, and he's got rid of the robot.
Yeah, it's a completely different twist on the film. Apparently, you're supposed to see the film in a different light after seeing it.
Yeah. But she said it was a bit of a challenge because obviously he's trying to get like archive footage from 20, 30 years ago that has deteriorated so much. So it was quite interesting, sort of watching him say how he put it together. Trading Places, that's another one. I love Trading Places.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant movie, that is. It's just when Eddie Murphy goes into that house and he's trying to nick everything in there. And he's like, it's yours. You're stealing from yourself.
I tried watching that not so long back, and I remember telling you about it, Stephen. You laughed at me that I turned it off because I didn't find it funny anymore.
Mate, I know. I'm standing by that. I love Trading Places. I think it's so funny.
It was funny when I saw it, but I don't. I'd be worried about it not being funny now.
Don't let Steve put you off, mate.
It's not that. It's just like some films that they just it was funny at one point, and then now it's maybe just out of just not funny anymore.
I don't think it's just out of date. See, there was just I just didn't connect with it.
No, but his style of like acting was very. There was a certain style of acting, wasn't it? It was like you could tell it was just like, okay, Eddie, do your thing, be Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
All his films were like that. All his films,
Well,
pretty much.
Be Eddie
Coming
Murphy.
to America was like that.
You could be Eddie Murphy, and I love Coming to America. I still love Coming to America now.
See, I feel the same about all his. I feel the same about all his films. Like, I enjoyed them when I watched them, but I haven't watched them since because I'm like, yeah, I've seen your shtick now, and it.
Cool.
Yeah, Steve, you can show me how many posters you want, mate. I still didn't enjoy the film.
But you have to. It's a VHS pretend version.
But I do still enjoy Coming to America. I still enjoy Beverly Hills Cop. The Golden Child. I still enjoyed those films. It was just something about Trading Places that I just couldn't connect with when I tried to watch.
No, I'm not having that. It's classic. I'll do that.
I reckon your favourite is Daddy Daycare.
Daddy Daycare.
One of my favourite Eddie Murphy movies was a film called Life, which he did with Martin Lawrence.
Oh yeah.
I really did enjoy that film.
It was, yeah. I'm trying to think. There was one recently that he was really good in. I say recently, about 3 years ago. Let me have a look. What was he called? Mr. Church. Mr. Church, I think it was called. He was really good in that. What year was
Lethal
that?
Weapon was filmed around Christmas, Dave. You're right.
2016, Mr. Church. Lethal Weapon.
Mm-hmm. You can't tell me it wasn't, Steve, because the opening scene is that they're running through Christmas trees.
Okay. So anything with Christmas trees in California or snow.
We don't get bloody snow in California, do you?
I like things like Christmas with the Cranks. I've not seen that in a while.
So, is there any Christmas specials coming on TV that you're looking forward to watching, or is there any like Christmas specials that you put on Christmas Eve and watch regardless if they want to tell you or not?
No, not. We've stopped watching telly really.
So imagine you don't have much time to watch it. To be fair, mate.
No, it's not even that. It's just don't watch telly anymore. Like I suppose I'd be like I'd happily watch Vicar of Dibley, or I'd happily watch I'd happily watch Del Boy and Rodney do the Batman and Robin thing, and I'd happily watch him if it was on. But I don't think there's anything I sit down and specifically.
I think I might do the Blackadder one again tonight or tomorrow. I think. I've seen that.
Lana's got loads of Christmas specials from like 2 Pints, Only Fools. Some others do have them, stuff like that. The one that we do watch every year is Grumpy Cat's Christmas. Do you remember Grumpy Cat?
No.
Have we got up here? Is it to hand? Grumpy Cat's Worst. There we go. I have got it to hand. Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever.
Oh yeah, that chat. I bet that was at least a Golden Globe or an Oscar.
No, well, Grumpy Cat was a famous cat. It was a disabled cat. I think it had like a cleft.
Oh, so it's got a disabled theme to it.
Yeah, and it was a famous cat. She's now dead, but yeah. Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas. If you haven't seen it, watch Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas.
I'd probably argue that's not his worst Christmas if it's now dead.
Well, he never died at Christmas, did he?
I'd argue that is no longer his worst Christmas.
Oh god!
It's not like he died on a turkey bone, is it? There you go, have that, you little bastard, and off it went and crowed.
Okay, it's now dead.
He's dead now.
Oh God!
He'll live on DVD.
in the hearts and minds of the children.
She's now living on the farm with the other animals.
Oh, bloody hell.
I've just gone through
That-
the Christmas releases for this year, and it's just all shite.
Is it?
Call the Midwife, for Christ's sake. I don't even want to watch that when it's not Christmas.
I think they only tend to have them on every Christmas, don't they? Like a job once a year.
No, we've just become, I think, just too used to. There's either going to be a Twitch on, or it's going to be Netflix or Disney Plus, isn't it? It's like it's changed how you watch telly. Really, it's completely.
It has, but
completely,
then the argument, though, see, is like, are these like the Sky and Virgin and that? Their subscriptions nowadays, do they stand up to what they used to be? Because you've got so much competition now.
We
but we're still paying more for them.
I think we switched to FreeSat years ago. Like years ago, and then just because we got tired of paying for because it was I think even when we had it, top package was already up to about 55 quid a month or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
right, so you mustn't have had Sky for a couple of years.
Oh, it's been years. I'm sure now it's up to 70,
your top
80.
Package, your top package 5-6 years ago was 120 quid.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. See, if I was really mad about Premiership football, then yeah, but the thing is, I'm not that mad about, like, I can't pay that much to watch it. So I'm like,
no.
We got rid of it ages ago, and then like now you've got Now TV, and then you so you can get all the Sky movies basically on Now TV and Disney Plus and everything. It's just like it's given all the power to those guys, but it is the best service. So at the end of the day, that's where people are going to go and just think it.
We swapped to Now TV a couple of years ago. You get everything on demand. You can watch it whenever you want to watch it. They've got a habit of putting full series out, so you can binge watch a full series. You might have to wait a couple of weeks while it's been on Sky One, but
yeah.
But yeah, I had 2 full Sky accounts, and they were 120 quid a pop. Yeah. And the only reason why I got sports was so I could watch the WWE. It wasn't even. But
that's the thing. What happened was then is that when everything started to go pay-per-view, because there was a time where, this is years ago. I'm talking, because I was the same. I used to have it for the wrestling, and that was my main reason. I liked watching Premiership football, but I wasn't like, I thought the value for me was in the wrestling. But when they started putting everything on pay-per-view. Stuff like that, and then the cost just goes up and up and up. And I think now, obviously, people's internet connections are so much better now that as well. That's the other thing that's changed in the last few years is like the connections have gotten so good that you. But
that was back in the day when you'd have sort of about 4 or 5 pay-per-views a year. Now there's literally one every month.
Yeah.
Well, the worst thing about Sky Sports now is that they've got so many Sky Sports channels. They've got Sky F1, they've got Sky Premiership, they've got Sky Cricket,
so
Sky
you have to
Racing.
Pay individually for each sport.
Yeah, so where it used to cost you like 15 quid a month for the full Sky, for the 4 channels,
now
you've got to spend a £5 a month splitting them all up, and it's now cost you like 30 quid for a full Sky package.
Yeah.
It's the same with the movies. You used to have like a movie package, and now you've got to pay for.
Well, you can see the streaming services have gone down that way now as well, because they're taking. I think Netflix, you have to pay for the higher resolutions, don't you? And then
this is the funniest thing, though.
It also changes the audio, because that's the other thing. Like the audio tracks that you get. I think on the lowest packages, you don't get all the full Dolby. Magic or anything, all the Dolby Atmos stuff. And
I think what I found the funniest was when you look at something like Sky Sports, and it's like, right, okay, it's 30 quid extra for Sky Sports, and you're like, oh god, bloody hell, da da da. Would you like it in HD? Because that's another £10 on top. Like, how are we living in a world where they're still managing to charge 10 quid extra a month to have it in high definition?
Yeah, it should be.
When the average TV size is like a 50-inch TV now.
Yeah. Phil, we're not allowed to talk about the new Matrix film this week because people still haven't seen it. However, go back and watch my review on it, and yeah, you'll see I agree with you.
Stu said Bottom did a good Christmas episode. Holy, yeah, it's one that we regularly watch. Bottom in this house, the funny one. Joanne says I got 255 film on YouTube. Watch later. I be watching some of those.
Yeah, have you seen the offer for YouTube Premium at the moment? You get it free for 2 months, and then it's like £10 a month.
No.
Would you ever consider YouTube Premium as a way of watching new films?
Does it give you access to the movies, YouTube Premium?
It gives you the access to the movies. Yeah,
Because I
you could search normally, couldn't you, for a film, and then it'll come up if it had it. But now it comes up, you've got to pay for it if it's there. So you can pay for it, and then you then own the rights to share it out.
I would consider that, because I've ended up using, like, the funny thing is, even with all these streaming services, right? Like, the amount of times we've ended up buying a movie recently online is crazy. Like, or renting a movie, because somehow all of the 5 different subscription services you have don't have the movie that you want to watch. You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of crazy. So you end up
or it says it's on Amazon Prime, and then you've still got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a conversation we have a lot on here, isn't it, Steve? If we're paying for a monthly subscription for something, the content should be free or whatever.
It's the biggest bugbear ever when it comes to something like Amazon. Because on one flip side, you're like, there's so much more that you can get on there. But like, if you're paying that subscription, it shouldn't even be an option to pay for something else on top. It really shouldn't.
I mean, we've already decided we're going to be getting Venom, the new Venom movie, because we haven't seen it yet. So we wanted to watch
Let There Be Carnage,
Yeah, so we wanted to watch that. So we're going to be paying, I think it's $15.99 on YouTube to have it.
Well, why don't you wait a couple of weeks, because it'll be on Disney Plus soon?
Yeah, because we want to watch it like on Christmas.
Oh, right.
So it's like, you know, one of our Christmas movies.
There's your traditional Christmas movie, Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Because that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm not going to pictures to watch any of the new Matrix stuff, because give it 2 weeks after it being out on the pictures, it's on Disney Plus. The best thing about it is that Disney Plus are actually advertising when the new films are being out on Disney Plus.
Really?
Yeah. So you know, so Black Widow was out in like the August, wasn't it? And then it was advertised on Disney Plus. You could pay the £20 and you can get it
to watch it early. Yeah.
To watch it.
Yeah, you knew exactly when that was coming out to Disney, didn't you?
But then they were saying it was coming out on the first week in October to free watch anyway. So you could either watch it in the cinema or pay for it early, or wait 6 weeks and get it for free on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And they're doing that all the way through now. So I'm in two minds about. I've been told I've got to go to the cinema to see Spider-Man. My 2 neighbours have been to see it, and they said I've got to go and see it in the cinema.
It's worth watching at the cinema. Yeah, it's a good cinema movie.
Martin says I think the YouTube Premium, you only get some movies, a bit like Amazon Prime.
See, the chances are the movies I don't want to watch, I end up having to pay anyway. Then, because it just seems to be that way.
Yeah.
You may seem to pick a movie. It's like, oh, I want to watch that.
Yeah, there is, Phil, and you've got to make sure that when you sign into it the first time, you click that you're over 18 as well, because you get all access to like Star and everything else, and you get all their content as well on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Disney Plus is definitely a good value one at the moment, isn't it?
Excellent value for me because it's free.
That's even better, yeah. Is that part of your accountancy service? Though?
Oh, so you like this one, are you, Andrew? You've got somebody's spare log on.
I don't know. He offers to help you out and then use it against you every opportunity. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to go on there and fuck up your account.
Just watch all the Trolls movies and
yeah.
But like, Steve, why have you paid for the Trolls movies?
I like the Trolls movies. They're quite good now.
Terrible.
Wow.
But no, but there is so much good content out there at the moment on the streaming services. Like you say, I've watched The Witcher. That was superb. And they advertised the new spin-off series for The Witcher as well, which looked really, really good.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Apparently, you won't see No Way Home on Disney Plus anyway.
Oh, why is that? Is it because it's Sony?
Yeah.
All right.
I thought so. Yeah, Sony would do something like that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, probably.
But No Way Home was fantastic. It was well worth the. Yeah, it was really good. It was really enjoyable.
Yeah, well, I'm still waiting to watch it, so don't ruin it.
No, I'm not gonna ruin it. It's just we enjoyed it very
So,
much.
are you in work tomorrow, Z?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You gonna have an early finish or what?
probably. But I think we're only doing till 5. I think 10 till 5.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah, we'll probably just do it.
So we've got a burning question that it's a bone of contention between me and Steve as of late. Shang-Chi.
I enjoyed the movie.
I thought it was shite.
Yeah, but the thing is, I saw it. Where did you guys watch it, at the cinema or at home?
No.
Disney Plus.
See, like, yeah, I can imagine watching it at home as part of my subscription and feeling, yeah, whatever. But I enjoyed it. I think partly because we saw it at the cinema and it was just it was fun. I don't think it would have like much replay value or anything. But we saw it at the cinema and we really, really enjoyed it. We just thought it was
fun.
corny. It was corny. The acting wasn't amazing, but it was enjoyable. It was very formulaic, but it was kind of, yeah. But I think it's because we saw it at the cinema.
No, I still think it's a bit of entertainment. It's good.
Yeah, it is. It's entertaining. I thought it was entertaining. I didn't think it was like offensive.
No.
Like, you see, whereas I can tell, like, if I was to watch, I think I'd be more upset about the new Matrix movie than I would be about Shang-Chi because of expectations. Shang-Chi, I had no expectations, you see. I don't know anything about it. Didn't know about the 10 rings, don't care about the 10 rings, still don't really care about them. Do you know what I mean? Like, but it was because there was no expectation.
Yeah, going into
and,
it, yeah.
And it was good enough. It was kind of funny enough. It was the action. I liked seeing a bit of kung fu. I liked seeing that. I thought that was really cool. It's been a long time since I've seen, like, because I've often every now and then I go onto YouTube and I check out what the latest kung fu movies are like, because they've gone. I mean, wow. I mean, I remember watching Ong Bak a few years ago, and I was like, really, that was like, man, that was awesome. And then IP Man and stuff, and then like the new kung fu movies are like brutal, and I was like, it's kind of nice to see a Disney version of kung fu, so it's not too violent.
See, I struggled with it because I didn't think the film knew what it wanted to be. If it wanted to be one of those Eastern kung fu, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Kingdom of whatever type movies, brilliant, give me one of them. If it wants to be a superhero movie, brilliant, give me one of them. If it wants to be a giant monster fight film, brilliant, give me one of them. But just don't give me all three in separate sections and one continuous story, because it didn't make sense to me.
That's fair enough. I can understand that. Yeah, I mean, I think it didn't flesh any particular thing out, did it? I think that's the thing. It didn't, because it had so much, and you could almost see that they kind of almost shoehorned the Marvel formula, that in the end there's going to be a field battle, and then there's going to be like a one-on-one battle going on, and then there's going to be like a monster. You can always see it was like very much like like a budget version of Infinity, the first Avengers movie. Sorry, when that crap comes out of the sky and it gave me those vibes. But I was like, I would say it was just I didn't think that was a particularly good part of the Avengers. The Chitaru soldiers or whatever. Yeah. See, I didn't think that. I thought that was quite weak. And everyone just overlooks it because it's part of the Avengers and the Infinity Saga. But if you actually look at it, you think it's pretty naff, wasn't it? Like, just a bunch of weird. They didn't even suit the aesthetic. It was just like, what are these kind of alien-y thingies? It didn't seem to suit the rest of the look of the movie. It was almost like in my opinion, anyway. Like, and I thought that was a bit, and I thought this was just as bad or good, however you want to see it, in that sense.
Yeah, I think the new Matrix movie is the same, and I said this in my review before seeing. They said you've seen the video. It's going to split people into you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, and it depends on which way that you're going into this film to see it. And yeah, I don't think it knows what it wants to be. It's either going to be a continuation to the story or a reboot of the saga.
See, I think this is again expectation, though, isn't it? Like, for example, imagine if you'd never seen The Matrix before, and you just go and watch it. You probably walk out and think, I'm guessing you'll probably think, oh, it's interesting, or good, even, maybe, because obviously they've got to be targeting it at a new audience, and also the other thing to note is as well is most people like that have never seen Matrix before might watch the original Matrix. They're not going to bother with Reloaded and what was the third one called? Revolutions, yeah. They're not going to bother with. They're going to at most watch the original, and then they're going to go and watch the new one because they found out about Keanu Reeves because of John Wick. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you got to think like how a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, that's got John Wick in it, and it's got it's going to be. It looks like an action movie. I love like Keanu Reeves has had this kind of. This resurgence as like everyone loves him now, don't they? Like no one talked about him for years, and now everyone talks about him as like the nicest, greatest guy, like he's Jesus or something. I don't know. Like
so, I've shared.
No, I'm sure he is, but I'm just saying like there seems to be like a love on the internet for Keanu Reeves.
No, apparently he's supposed to be a really, really nice guy.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I'm not disputing that. But I'm like there's like a swell of appreciation for him, and I think people like loving his movies, and it's. So I'm
loving
guessing
the fact that he goes on the train and stuff like that.
Yeah. And you always see the memes of he wasn't let into his own party, and all this guy. You see the same thing.
Steve's going to watch The Matrix next week because I'm going to share how I've watched it with him via other means. And he's going to watch it, so we're going to review it next week. So everyone, you've got a week to watch.
Did you? Sorry, can I just clarify? Did you watch it at a cinema? Yes or no?
No.
See, you've blown his mind there. You've blown Z's mind.
I have a day job where I can't go to the cinema. However, it means I'm working from home, so a lot.
No. That's I'm not like saying it like that, but I'm just like, do you?
No,
what about audio? What was the audio like? What was the audio in the picture like? Was it still surround sound?
Me audio is brilliant in the room, and we've got big sound bars and stuff.
No, but like but was the audio of the film that you watched? Was it?
Yeah, it was brilliant. So it's a full
mixed.
HD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. No, that's my thing. That's it. Yeah. As long as you got the full experience, as it were.
Yeah, I've got the full experience of the film, and
cool.
I think me going into the Matrix Resurrection and seeing the trailer, and we were talking about the trailer breakdown a couple of months ago on here with Catan and that. I had such high hopes for the film, and I just don't think it delivered a cohesive story to benefit either a reboot or a continuation. It's in that middle somewhere. Go and watch it though, and I'll be interested to know your feedback and your comments on it, because to me it was just how can we get the Matrix back out there in time to make some money?
Yeah.
See, like my thing is like you were quite positive about, from what I can tell, the second and the third movie as well.
Yes. Yeah. That was.
And I thought the second one was bad, and I thought the third one was just unbelievable. I was like, as in bad, like it was just terrible. It was just even worse somehow. I just thought I thought they could have left it. I thought Matrix was one of those movies where they could have left it and it would have been just perfect where they left it.
Yeah. However, I do like the idea of Zion. I like the idea that you've got humans fighting the machines, and there's a clear good, bad, depending on which way you look at it, element.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think then it becomes too literal. you see it? For me, it lost it because the beauty of the Matrix was, are you in the what? Like the catch line when the movie first came out. I remember the buzz was all, "What is the Matrix?
Yeah.
What is the Matrix?" No, and the thing is, they did such an immaculate job of showing us what it was and what it meant. And then the second one, it's just it's too literal. As soon as you start seeing like too much of the battery farms and you start seeing too much of the tentacle things and you start seeing too much of the inner world of real life in that world, then it just becomes another sci-fi.
But the third film, though, they bring it back into the Matrix. They bring it back into the inner workings of the system. You get to see.
But it was too. They did, but it was so like convoluted. They on purposely did that, obviously, to make it super convoluted and super confusing. Like, that was obviously part of it. You could tell it was written like that, but it was so labored. Like the whole thing was so labored. I mean, I remember that scene with the Oracle sat on the bench, and it was painful. I thought it was just pain. Whereas the first movie, it was the right balance of, for me anyway. It was just the first movie was just infinitely better than the second and the third. For me, that's made it.
I don't think that Oracle scene would have been as bad if the original actress hadn't died. That the whole idea of just swapping them.
Yeah, that's the problem with the sequels.
Yeah, but the whole
again,
idea
don't
of swapping them
shoehorn
over
things. Then
and
it was
recasting her and then having to explain why they've recast
and
her.
then you had the Colonel from KFC explaining everything at the end.
It's
I didn't want that just ruined. Do you know what I mean? It was for me. It was such a for me. It was an anticlimax. Just for me, I thought the first movie. I like a bit of like something left to the imagination. I suppose like something.
It was a fresh idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, I like that little bit of it allows you to think of
Brilliant.
the missing bits because they showed you enough and they completed. The first movie was a complete story in itself. Like it was and I kind of feel like in a weird way, like I'm hoping that the this new movie, I don't know, like could you watch? Is it a direct follow-on from Revelations or is it more of a?
It is a direct follow-on.
Yeah.
But it's also reboot at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah. You when you watch it, you'll see what I mean. Yeah, there's so many aspects of the original trilogy, and there's a lot of flashbacks and references to the original trilogy. But they've also brought in so many new characters and new aspects of it to bring it forward and make it more relevant as well. But they don't flush any of that new stuff out. So if the second film's
but one thing that really bothers me about it is there's no Hugo Weaving, right?
No, there's not.
See,
you get a flashback of of Nathan Smith,
and the new guy saying Mr. Anderson. It doesn't. So for me, see that, and I could tell that from the trailer. When it cuts.
To be honest, if they didn't put that in the trailer, I would have went, "Wow, that's him." And is there an option to bring him back because and change his?
But I think in that trailer, when I saw that, like they kind of transitioned from Hugo Weaving to the new guy, and they're saying Mr. Anderson. It didn't. It just that for me was the alarm bells moment. I think.
Yeah.
Because it's a subjective thing, isn't it? It's very like it's all about feelings. Yeah. For me, anyway. Like,
I'm not saying don't watch it.
No.
By all means, go and watch the film. You'll enjoy it for what it is, but when you're trying to put it into context with the other three and what it's trying to be and what it's going to going forward,
I think David Resells and Collects has hit it on the head. To be honest. I think David Resells and Collects is totally hit on the head. Like, it's like the Terminator movies. A lot of young people like the new ones and think they're better than the old ones. And I think maybe that's. I think partly that could just be it because. Yeah.
If it had its own story, without heavily relying on the previous trilogy, then I will probably agree with that. But because it's trying to reboot a franchise, but then keep roots to the original franchise, it just loses its way in the middle, and you'll see it when you're watching it. And
Yeah, but again, you're talking from your perspective of someone that
Yeah,
saw
from
the
my
original.
perspective.
Yeah,
From my
but
perspective.
I think what David's point there is a solid one, because it is like, do you mean like the new gen of people watching movies who weren't around at the time of the Nokia 7110, who don't fully, because imagine if you're 20 years old and you now today decide to watch the original Matrix,
Yeah.
and you see that phone drop in slow-mo, that's it. That's all it means to you.
So we were
Do you know what I mean?
We were talking about
Yeah.
Terminator Dark Fate before, right? And taking that as an example, that's got a previous franchise behind the movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. They kill that franchise in 5 minutes at the start of this new film, don't they? Saviour's dead.
Yeah.
Bosh, gone. Shit. John Connor's dead now. What's happening going
Yeah,
forward?
that's the point.
Where's the next 2 hours of this film taking me? And you've got to watch it, and you've got to see where they're taking the franchise.
Yeah.
New people who've never seen Terminator 1 or 2 would understand, bang, John's now dead. They'll just see a young kid getting shot at a bar, and that's that. And that franchise just moves on. This one goes back and forth in flashbacks all the way back into throughout the film. And you're like, what am I actually watching here? Is it a continuation of the story, or are you rebooting the franchise? Because you're trying to do both in the same 2 hours of film.
Yeah.
So I totally understand what David says, and I totally agree with him. The new Predator film's a standalone film, etc. And that will bring in new fans to that series because it's a new alien.
But you don't see how that's going to work with Matrix.
Yeah. But if they didn't have Neo, and they didn't have Trinity, and they didn't have Morpheus, and they didn't have the links all the way through, and they brought somebody back in, or a new person in who's a new one, then we've got a whole new storyline. You've got a whole new story arc, but you're bringing back an original arc that was done, dead. That rainbow's there now, and you're now going on to a new one, but you're coming back off. You're going back to start it all over again.
Yeah.
You'll understand what I'm saying when you watch it.
Well, you've hyped it up that much now.
I might watch it tonight.
I did say
Yeah, why not, Andre?
talk about that. But,
I'll watch a film that's a reboot that isn't a reboot that is a reboot.
There may not be a reboot.
Possible.
So have we got a DW drinking with Andrew tomorrow?
Depends how pissed I get in the pub during the day.
Oh, okay. So probably then.
yeah, Martin saying it went weird. I take it he means the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth a watch, Dave. I wouldn't say don't go and watch it. Yeah, Dave Resells hitting it again. Jurassic World. Yeah, Jurassic World. You've got a loose connection to the originals, but then they've started their own story. They did remake all the stories, but it's that.
So yeah. I think I missed out on the whole Jurassic Park thing because I saw the first movie and I loved it, but again, it was like I was like, what more do I need to see? When the second one came out, I was like, I don't need. I saw it and I thought, is this going to be like dinos in the city or something? I don't know. And then so I didn't.
But they use the line now with these remakes or these reboots and stuff. They use a line of sort of for the new audience, innit? And I don't know.
I mean, I loved the original one. The one I saw was incredible. It was mind-bendingly good, but it satisfied my need for like that franchise, I suppose. Like that, I was like, that's perfect. I'm happy. I watched it quite a few times as well, especially when it came out on DVD originally and stuff. Because of the audio.
Jurassic Park.
So
yeah, I know, but like I bought it on DVD though, like with the Dolby Digital and the DTS soundtracks and stuff, and it was like, wow.
Yeah.
If you watch Jurassic Park and then you watch Jurassic Park: The Lost World, and then you go and watch Jurassic World, and Jurassic Park: Fallen Kingdom. You know Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, so they're practically carbon copies of the same story.
So
Right,
many
so-
Jurassic. I get confused.
Yeah, so Jurassic Park. Yeah, Jurassic Park is an island with dinosaurs on, and the Lost World is an island where they go and save dinosaurs from the island. Jurassic World is an island with dinosaurs on, and Fallen Kingdom, they've got to go and rescue dinosaurs off an island. Yeah, carbon copy of the stories.
Yeah,
Right.
see, so I
The
wouldn't watch
third
a
film-
movie where they go to rescue dinosaurs off an island. I'd more like to watch a movie where they try to survive from dinosaurs,
Yeah.
not actually go out of their way to find dinosaurs.
It's a good job Chris Hayden's not in the chat because he'll be slating me now at the moment for saying this, but about Jurassic Park and World. But it is what it is. But I can understand Jurassic World was a reboot of Jurassic Park.
Is it? Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
so that would possibly be worth a watch for me then.
Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah, but again, it's possibly because I'm like, I don't feel compelled to, you know, like.
Well, if you don't want to bother.
Yeah, I'm just not. Yeah, I don't think it's Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, okay, it will have better dinosaurs. It will have better dinosaurs. The effects will probably be better. It'll probably be a good movie to just like listen to your surround sound system on.
Shall we explain the plot of Tenet next? As an
Oh,
extra?
yeah. that okay. I'm still don't get it. Like, I watched it. I came out of the cinema, and Beck was like, "This is amazing," and I was looking at Beck going, "Yeah, I just don't quite get what happened." I still haven't. I need to rewatch that one. That's a rewatch. See, I'm actually
You need
compelled
to go
to
and
watch.
tell her that you just don't know what the bloody hell happened.
She knows. She knows. I told her. I said, it lost me. I was like, I know. I think I know what it meant. Like with all the way they shot the different scenes, you know, like because they made them look different as well. They made the scenes look different as well. Like,
Yeah.
But it just didn't click in my head, and I need to rewatch it.
That's
But
brilliant.
that I'm compelled to rewatch though because like despite not fully understanding it, it was really good. Yeah, like I know that.
Lady, if you don't like dinosaurs, don't bother because there's lots of them.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, Lainey. I like them, but not. You know, I'm like, I don't see what more you can do with. Like, you know, the original movie, I thought did it all. You had them, you know, seeing them for the first time, and all that, and it was good. And then Little Raptors and Our Clever Girl and all that. You know, Samuel L. Jackson and Newman from Seinfeld was in it. I mean, what else do you need? Yeah.
Brilliant. I love that.
Yeah,
I don't know if I like dinosaurs or not. I've never met any.
Yeah, that's a good point.
we almost went to a dinosaur show in Turkey.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to go in? I'm like, why?
Let's go in.
Not 10.
Do you know what I like? I liked Where's the Goat in the Jurassic Park movie. Where's the Goat?
Yeah.
That scene was good. And he
No,
left.
we were literally walking around Torquay, and in the middle of Torquay, there was a blooming dinosaur exhibition thing or whatever it was. It wasn't even an exhibition, was it? What was it?
It was like it was like a walk through time, wasn't it? And go and play in the
Oh,
sand
yeah.
and find dinosaur bones and stuff. I thought that'd be brilliant for a tenner an adult. What could go wrong?
He was much happier going in the next building and spending it on bloody penny machines and 2p machines.
Look, you can't argue the fact that you can't go to a seaside town and not go in an arcade.
Yeah, you can.
Quite easily.
Quite.
With
Yeah.
Wetherspoons instead.
Oh, we've already been Wetherspoons.
Yeah, he'd already done that.
For the second
Yeah.
time in 2 days that we've already been in Wetherspoons.
Surprised you weren't bloody ordering it from the blooming hotel.
Delivered to my door.
Yeah.
No, I'm not having another pub serving of Southern Comfort. There just wasn't enough Southern Comfort in that glass.
You'll have to test drive the one up here, mate.
Yeah, we will. You'll have to show me where it is.
I'll just leave you in it. It's amazing. They're sort of chasing and eating people. What?
Yeah, it's like a shark film. Don't go in the water if you don't want to get eaten by sharks.
Yeah, exactly. I just kind of thought, what did you think was going to happen? Like it's one of those things. You watch Jurassic Park and you think, like, okay, but like, what did you really think?
My dream in life is to become a multi-billionaire so I can bring dinosaurs back to life, hire an island, and have it as a tourist resort for people.
Really?
I'm sure it will be perfect. I don't know where I got the idea from.
You don't think there was any flaws in that idea? You don't think there's any? You don't think there's any like potential?
Nothing could go wrong. It's bulletproof, that, isn't it?
I think it'll be brilliant.
Like take people around and show them goat tied to a pole.
Now, I reckon as well that I could make some extra money from it by selling the dinosaurs as weapons to the military.
Brilliant.
Isn't that the storyline for the second film?
Just drop a T-Rex into the middle of Iraq. Job done.
Oh, sorry, that's part of the storyline for the first film, isn't it, with the raptors?
Yeah.
I think I'd be. I think.
Well, yeah, he was meant to be taking that little canister of foam, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he gets wrecked by that spitting dinosaur.
The Loposaurus.
Yeah, he gets wrecked, man. Serves him right. I thought that was an awesome scene. I liked it.
Right, ladies and gents, I think we have come to the end of this week's show. I'd like to thank our guests, Z and Andrew. It's always a pleasure, gentlemen. You know where we are.
Thank you so much for coming on, guys.
Whenever you're free.
Oh, not at all. It was a pleasure.
Yeah,
JP was good, Laney. I agree. JP was a good movie, but they should have stopped.
Let it go. Let it go, Z.
No, because it bothers me, because everyone loves it so much. And I'm like, why did they even make the second one or the third?
The third one was the best.
Was it? I'm going to watch it because you said that.
I think the most important thing is to give everyone.
Why did you think I never mentioned it before?
I think the most important thing is to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll see them before New Year again. Steve.
That's true. That's true. We'll see you before then. But have a great Christmas, everybody. Thank you very much for joining. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, please.
Laney's new Spidey's amazing. All right.
The year for your review is 1994, and the homework movies was Clerks and Muriel's Wedding. Was that right?
Muriel's Wedding. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
good luck getting that one on DVD.
Is yours the only store
I've got it
for sale, and you're putting the price
He's
up
got
right now?
copy, yeah.
As we speak,
Yeah.
as we speak.
I'll be interested. I'll be interested to see what the DVD sales were like for some of these movies that we suggested after we've suggested them.
Muriel's Wedding on DVD.
Yeah.
Take care, all. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Well, I'll catch you next week, and thank you very much. 7:15 is our new standard time.
Yeah.
And we'll see you then. So, bye-bye for now.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.